Lights, camera, action. Let's start the show. Here's a little bit of wedding advice from me to help your love story unfold. Welcome back, lovebirds. We are in your wedding series where we're planning your wedding starting from age 14-year-old you and then fast forwarding until the age in which you are engaged. In this episode, we're talking about who pays for this. Now, we've had several other episodes leading up to this one that talked about who's paying for this. And in one of those episodes, it was the bride edition, the groom edition, as well as the parents edition. But in today's episode, we're talking about the bridal party. So if you are part of a bridal party, you're part of the wedding party, you're going to really, really enjoy this episode, as well as bride and grooms and parents. It's going to be exciting for you to get to see, all right, what does the bridal party actually pay for when it comes to this whole wedding thing? Let me get into my notes. So when it comes to the wedding itself, this is like some of the events that are also involved when it comes to the bridal party that you may or may not have in your wedding. Not everyone is going to have every wedding event. You guys have heard me say that quite a bit. That not everybody is going to have every wedding event. Some people just have a proposal, it's very simple. And then they also have a simple wedding, and that is okay too. But if you're going to have a bridal party, you may want to listen up and take some notes because here are the items that they traditionally pay for. Now, we say traditionally because things can be different depending on your circumstance. Maybe finances are a little bit tighter in other areas. And so your bridal party has decided, you know what? We're just going to pick it up. We're going to pay for the tab. We're going to pay for that item. Okay. So don't think that you have to stick with this. But if you are curious, what do they traditionally pay for? Then this is going to be the episode for you. And those of you that are looking for later on, what are the duties of the bridesmaids? And if you don't want to go researching all of that online, get to hang out with me. I've done all the work for us. So, the first thing that the bridal party is usually going to be accountable for is the bachelor party, the bachelorette party, or the Hindu party. Depending on what country you're in, you may be having a Hindu party and not the bachelor or bachelorette party. If you're having a Hindu party, the parent of the bride might be taking care of this as well because the Hindu party is like a combination of bachelorette and wedding shower or bridal shower, in my opinion. I think like, well, bridal shower and bachelorette party, it's like combined. You know what I mean? So I would say that if you are going to have these parties, that they are the ones that are traditionally taking care of them. And if it's the Hindu party, then it's probably going to be the bride's uh, parents, like the mother of the bride, who's probably going to take care of that. The future in law mother might, the groom of the mother of the groom, the groom, she might step in and want to pay for some of this if she's invited to the Hindu party. I mean, hopefully she is, but this is who usually pays for this. And that's going to be everything from decorations, the food, transportation, getting around, all the things. It's going to be being paid for by the bridal party when it comes to the bachelor party and the bachelorette parties. Okay. Now let's talk about gifts for the bride and groom. This is usually paid for by the bridal party as well. And you guys can even go in together and just make this like one gift for them. It doesn't have to be a separate gift for her and a separate gift for him. You can go and combine and get a gift that they can share in. I think it's really wonderful whenever the bridal party gives the bride and groom a gift. I will say that I've gone to many weddings, including my own, where that was not the case. And I do think that people should think about giving them a little something because, as you guys did see in the other episodes for the bride and the groom, they did also traditionally pay for gifts for the bridal party. So it's not just this free ride for the bridal party to be VIP at your wedding, and then they're not really gonna be like doing their any duties, and they're also not bringing any gifts. I think that they should have something that they give to the bride and groom, something special. The next thing is that they are going to bridesmaids and groomsmen are going to be paying for their own wedding attire and accessories traditionally in America. Okay. Traditionally in America, that is how things are done, that the bridal party is going to be taking care of their own wedding attire. So, whatever the groom and the bride have decided, hey, this is what we like for you to wear, guess what? You're going to be paying for that. Most of the time, the bride and groom are not going to have you pay for something super expensive. And most of the time these days, they want you to have something that you can wear again. I was very excited about this for my wedding, that the bridesmaids were able to wear their dresses again, but they were able to wear them also for my wedding and look exactly like the style that I wanted them to be in. So it was really, really great. It was really, really great. So, yeah, so just make sure that you understand that as a bridal party, that you're also going to be paying for your accessories. So, men, you're going to have like bow ties, suspenders, belts, shoes, a jacket, a vest, whatever it is, as well as the pants and the shirt. What I don't like a whole lot of is when people are renting. That's just my 2 cents. When people are renting this attire and then they give it back, and now they spent upwards of like 200, 250 bucks. My husband was in a wedding like that, and you're never going to see that suit again, or you're never going to see that dress again. I mean, 200 bucks is 200 bucks. 300 bucks is 300 bucks. And so I feel like you should just pick something as a bride and groom that they can go out and purchase, and then they can also keep in their wardrobe and wear again. Okay. So that's just me personally. That's just what I think. And the fact that my husband actually had a suit that was pretty identical to the suit in which the bride and groom had chosen for their wedding, I felt some kind of way. I have to say, I didn't feel too great about it that he had to go out and purchase this suit, that it was just a rental. So, shoes are a different thing. They really want the gentleman to have really nice shoes. We know men, they don't always keep their shoes super clean. And sometimes even ladies don't either. But I do think that ladies do take the time out. I mean, especially myself. Like, my shoes always look fabulous. Because like I just want to look nice, so head to toe. So I'm always cleaning my shoes, even my sandals. And I've actually gotten compliments on it before. It's like, wow, your sandals are always clean. I'm like, I know. And we lived in a place that was like extremely, like, you wore sandals every day. It was a very hot environment. So you wore sandals like 8 to 9 months out of the year. So I always made sure that my feet were clean, obviously, and that my sandals and my shoes are also very, very clean. So, and I heard this guy tell me, he was so ridiculous. I was on set one day and he was like, who washes their tennis shoes? And I was like, I do. Like, I actually wash my tennis shoes. And there's even washers that they're making now where there's a setting on there for tennis shoes. Okay, guys, we're getting off. Oh, we were talking about cleaning your shoes, but it is a part of it. Like, you need to look nice. You need to look nice every day, not just for a wedding day. That's just how I feel. Okay. The last thing that they are going to be paying for is transportation to and from the city, state, or country in which the bridesmaid, in which the bride and groom have set for their wedding. So wherever the wedding is going to be, they are going to be getting their transportation to go to that wedding. So, and that is on them. Okay. That is on them. A lot of times you will see that, like, once they've arrived in the city, someone else is taking care of that traditionally. And we did talk about that on a different episode. Make sure you guys go back and watch those other episodes, because they do break down what's being paid for by the bride, the groom, and the parents of the bride and parents of the groom. Okay. So we did break those down, and they are really, really informational. They're really good. I know that a lot of these things surprised me when I was getting married. It's like, wow, okay. But then what ends up happening is that because other things aren't being paid for by traditionally by certain people, especially like parents of the bride and things like that, then things start getting kind of tricksy when it comes to these other things on who's paying for that. So say for example, if you wanted a wedding shower, but the parents, didn't pay for you to have a wedding shower, but you really wanted one. Well, your bridal party, or bridesmaids or groomsmen, they might step up because they are your friends as well. They're your best friends. They may be your closest family members. They might step up and be like, no, we're giving them a wedding shower. They deserve a wedding shower. Okay. So you just, it may be different per your circumstance. So that's why I asked the question, what are you seeing in today's world? Like, what are you seeing now? Like, how are things different now when it comes to the, bridal party and what they're paying for? Have you gone to a wedding and you're like, "Oh, that's just not how it was done. We paid for so much more stuff," or "We didn't even pay for any of the things on that list." Maybe there was none stuff that they had to pay for. Maybe your gown, your bridesmaids dresses were paid for. Maybe the groomsmen's tuxedos or suits were paid for by somebody else. I want to hear from you. I want you to be my guest on the wedding series. Okay. So here we are in your wedding series podcast. And we have this little segment called Be My Guest. So I am looking for people to be my guest. And if you have a story when it comes to the tuxedos, the suits, the accessories, and the bridesmaids dresses, maybe you had a dress and you were like, no, I hated it. And they were like, yeah, you get to keep it afterwards. And you weren't that excited about getting to keep it afterwards. You never were able to wear it again. I want to hear your stories, you guys. So send me an email so we can get the conversation started. Send me an email. And then after you do that, we're going to have some interview questions that we're going to do together by video call. We're going to record the video. And then guess what? I'm going to put it on to the platform so that we can get a chance to share stories with other bridal party members that are like, ooh, that's interesting. Like, I can't believe they went through that, or that's really cool. That turned out so well for them. And I hope that it turns out well for our bridal party as well. I don't even know where that accent was from. So yeah, it's just a time to get to share and to help others in this whole journey with planning weddings. So if you're out there and you want to be on the show, send me an email at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. And guess what, lovebirds? That's the end of this episode. I know it was short, sweet, and it was actually just all wrapped up in a little bow, to the point and everything else. I will see you guys in the next episode, but it's going to be season 3. It's heating up. We're wedding planning still, and we're talking about more of the venue shopping. We're talking about the bridesmaids proposals and the brunches and giving you ideas for all of that. And so we're getting into it. We're getting into it. So stay tuned for season 3. And I will see you, lovebirds, in the next episode. Bye, lovebirds.